Hello and good evening, or whenever you're watching this. What's up, friends? I wanted to make a quick little video to talk over something, I guess, that's pretty important to me and what we're doing at the P10 gym, because it's been officially a year. We started this process with an official open January 1st of 2023. And as of this recording, it's December 27th, 2023. So it's a wonderful blessing, and it's incredible to be able to talk to you guys about this and say that we've been in business for a year now, officially as of January 1st, 2024. And there's been a lot of stress on my heart and on my mind over the last couple weeks for many different reasons. For business, for our kiddo Jax is officially 2 months old, and that's been a wonderful stress thing to go through over the last 2 months. And many other things in life, like everybody else. It's not unique to me. But one big issue I've had over the last couple of months, I should say more likely, is all of the wonderful things that we've been able to do over the last year with this facility, with the P10 training gym, with the start of this business that has been such a big passion project for me, and it's been leading up to this for years. I felt that I was not doing a good job, and I know that I wasn't doing a good job at defining what this passion project really is. Because I created this tagline a little while ago, sometime during the first year of this thing, unlike any other. And it meant a lot to me when I came up with that tagline for what Protocol 10 is and what it's going to be for everybody involved. And it made a lot of sense because I know what the heck I'm trying to build along with all my friends. But it did not do a good job, and I did not do a good job at defining what Protocol 10 is and is to be in the coming months, years, and so on. Because it's not just a gym. It's just one part of it. What makes this project, this thing that we've been able to do so far, different than anything else is that it's more than just a gym, truly. It, in definition, if we want to roll back to 2016 when Andrew came up with this idea, it was the vehicle of fitness to make people successful. Because that's what I saw all the time, is that when people took lots of time and focused on making themselves better versions of themselves, they became better in just about everything else that they did. And that was the original idea. So it was the 10 protocols of success. And I've grown and I've matured, and it's not 2016 anymore, and Andrew isn't 21. But the idea is still similar. It just needs a new definition, or a set of new definitions, some altering, some tailoring. And so that's what I did over the last few weeks. Shout out to Omar. Thank you for helping me think through these things. Shout out to everybody else involved who I've talked to and who I've shared my thoughts and feelings with, because you guys have helped me clean this up quite a bit. Shout out to my team as well. Let's take a look. This is what Protocol 10 means to me, and I hope it's what it means to you and what it will mean to you for those of you who are involved in this thing. It's the 10 protocols to an exceptional human. Because once again, it's not just about fitness. When I'm defining what Protocol 10 is a vehicle to make people better, because that's what it did to me. Fitness made me a much better version of myself than I ever thought that I could be as a young man, and it continues to do so to this very day. And so these things, these attributes that I have on the screen, for those of you who are listening, I'm going to explain these here verbally, as well as those of you who are watching and listening. The 10 protocols to an exceptional human. This is what I've come up with the help of everybody that I've talked to. Motivation, a reason to act. Everybody has a reason or multiple reasons. You have many throughout the day in all the actions that you do. And when you're thinking of big conceptual goals, there has to be some type of motivation. I'm not talking about the fleeting feeling of feeling motivated, but what is your motivation? What is your reason to act? Dedication, a mindset of purpose. So you have that motivation, and now you need to be dedicated. You need to be committed, is another way to put it, to that motivation. Action. I didn't have this in the original 10. If that tells you how much I've matured, action is heavily important. It is probably the most important thing on this list. You need to have action to see any type of success, because if it's all conceptual, if it's all high and mighty, fluff in the sky, you're never going to get anything done. Consistency, required action completed regularly. Sporadic action, I like to say in terms of fitness when I'm talking to people about their ability to execute through their own fitness things. I don't want you to kick your own dumb ass in a workout once a week, right? I want you to be able to do the things that I ask you to do or somebody else asks you to do on a regular basis, weekly. Sacrifice, to give up something for greater. I edited this definition a few times because there's a few different ways you can kind of understand sacrifice. I thought that originally I said to give up something less for greater purpose, for greater gains, or a couple of different ways I worded it, and it didn't sound right. It's kind of written in the definition of what sacrifice is, not needed to be explained in my thought process, because in definition, if you're sacrificing, if you're giving up something for something else, automatically that is an equation that has been calculated. It's already done and in the term itself. For you to give up something, the other thing has to be greater. It has to be more worthwhile for sacrifice. Focus, to remove distraction, because that's everywhere these days. In 2023, 2024, America, there is distraction every single second of your life. And if you want to see any bit of success at being an exceptional human, somebody who's a leader in the community, a leader in your family, somebody who's inspiring other people to be different and be better, you have to be focused. Relentlessness, to continue until the very end, because that doesn't happen very often these days. Insanity. This is a funny one. I kept this from my original 10. If you want to be great, some will call you crazy. If you've ever done anything outside of the normal, I guarantee, whether you know it or not, and many of you I know who are listening do know this, and you can think of a time when you have been called crazy because you've done something different. You will be called crazy. And sometimes that's a good thing, because the normal, especially in our culture today, is not what anybody wants to be. The expected and the accepted is not appropriate for just about anything, in my opinion, these days. So wear that with a badge of honor. Integrity, to treat everything and everyone equally. It's incredibly important. The original definition had every training session, every individual, and those are, once again, written into this shorter definition, I believe. It's to treat everything and everyone equally, and to pair it up with consistency, to do it all the time. And the final one, which is a new one as well, is community. Because as I've matured and as I've gotten older, those who surround you define you. And that's incredibly true. People talk about toxicity and all that quite a bit these days. But what type of influence are you being on your close circle of influence, as well as your more broader community? And what are they influencing you and your mindsets? Because that's incredibly powerful. And if they're not good, you got to figure out how to adjust that. And so that's the definition. That's what Protocol 10 means to me. That's what our brand is today. And that's what I'm going to continue to build better and better with every single month. I don't like to say that we have one type of fitness inside the Protocol 10 training gym, because that's not what we are. That's not what I want to build. I want to build all these different training modalities inside of our facility, because you can do fitness in a million different ways. But if you apply these things, if you take these concepts and you apply them to everything that you're doing, and fitness is a wonderful vehicle to do that once again. Turns out you're going to be an exceptional human. And I mean that in a very positive way, obviously, that you're going to be an influencer, not in a fake social media way in 2023, 2024. You're going to be an influencer in your community, in your circle of influence, and the people who matter most to you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody who surrounds you. And I can't think of anything more powerful than that. Thanks for listening.